Alright, going live in 5, 4, 3.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Beauty and Bubbles. This week, we're really excited. We had a really super fun day with Justin, who is here at Glamour Bar with us on the weekly, has shared his grandpa, Fernie Lopez, with us, who has been a barber since
56 years.
For 56 years.
56 years.
So he came in and did some straight razor shaves, he did some haircuts, he did some beard trims, he shared his knowledge with the rest of the staff. So we're so thankful to have you in tonight.
I'm very happy to be here. Very happy to be here and try to help with the little knowledge that I got.
You have plenty of years of knowledge, so it was not like, I think Quinlan was in seventh heaven today, like spending time with you.
I'm sure she was like, oh my god.
She was so excited. They talked tools, they talked all sorts of stuff. It was the cutest thing ever. So thank you for spending the day, and thank you for everybody that came in and spent some time with Fernie today and had a straight razor shave. We might be able to talk him into coming in tomorrow too, so message us if you want to come and get the expert's hand on your head.
Surprise, you're working tomorrow.
He asked me if he was, and I was like, oh shoot.
Earlier you said he'll come once a year, so.
He's been telling everybody, he has been so excited about him and getting a straight razor shave here at Glamour Bar. So we got to figure out our barbering situation because Fernie told him he's only going to come once a year.
We'll be here in July, so let's get him back in July.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
So we'll take appointments for whenever we can get him. So thank you again for being here today.
Thank you for having me here.
Yes.
And thank you for the motel room, and it's all going to work out.
And
Yes.
happy anniversary, Grandpa.
Yes,
Thank
happy
you.
anniversary.
Thank you.
Grandpa and Grandma are celebrating 54.
54.
54 years.
Wow.
Is that right, Grandma?
Yeah.
she's like, I think so.
Yeah. Sounds good.
So I'm sure you've seen lots of changes
I
through
have.
all of the years.
I have.
What are kind of like the biggest like moments that you've seen or changes that you've seen from when you first started out to now?
The biggest change that I've seen is the way they work this day and age. That is, they don't, well, just like the shaves. The shaves that I've seen people do, barbers do, they pick a little bit at a time. And it's all supposed to be one stroke. One stroke. Till you get to where you're gonna get, and one stroke up, one stroke down, it's all one stroke. When you come across here, it's one stroke. You don't pick. And same way on the other side. On the lower neck, upper neck, from say, your sideburn all the way to the end of the ear to the jawbone, it's one stroke. It's all one stroke, not this. And that is my biggest change that I've seen.
That's a trigger.
Their haircuts are different too, because now they shave across the forehead, on the temple, to the temple, across the forehead, to the temple, and then they come down to the side. And that's different for me.
Yeah.
And what I do, most of my work is freehand. 95% of my work is freehand. I don't use the attachable blades. I'll look at an attachable blade and I say, it's about that long. So that's where I go.
Yeah.
It's freehand. I don't use the blade. I got them, but I don't like them.
I was just gonna ask you, is it more like clippering, scissor over comb? I don't know. I'm using all my knowledge that I have. Like that's it.
I
don't
use
know.
a lot of
You know,
Cheers.
two things.
clipper over comb. I use shear over comb, and of course your finger top. But around edges here, it's sheer overcomb. And on the bottom, I use clipper overcomb. And that's another thing that I've seen is you come across this way over the comb. You go up because you leave them hidden lines on the upper end of the hair.
You're telling all your secrets.
Yes.
Oh, game changer. I need a notepad.
That's right. Get your notepads
I
ready.
see a lot. They come across with the comb, with the clipper. And I don't. I go straight up. And because it develops more work later on, because you got to do sheer overcomb to straighten it up, or clipper overcomb. But they make it work one way or the other. But I'm just old-fashioned, and I'm just an old fart.
With shaving, how you were saying kind of like one stroke, does that go for men shaving at home or women shaving at home? Does that help with irritation, or what is kind of the...
I use the straight razor at home sometimes on myself, but I let it go for 2 or 3 days, and it's all one stroke. One stroke across the chin. Of course, if you got a
butt
dimple there,
Yep.
you got to be careful. You kind of got to lift it up and go over. But same thing with on the upper lip. We all have this little dimples here, and if you come across it backhand, you might nick it. You might nick it.
It's a cute husband.
And today I felt that I was a little rusty this morning, but on the last 2, I was comfortable. Because
Sorry for your first one.
Sorry, everybody.
Clayton and Tom got the best treatment.
I was like, literally everybody today was like, when are you coming back again? So
And
you were not rusty.
It was complete
'cause
makeovers from
I haven't
the men I
shaved
saw.
anybody in the last 5 years or plus. So I say I was a little rusty, but I worked it out, especially where I had to go chase the water.
Yes.
Chase
It was
the
also
water.
a setup situation.
I had to go get water for the mug to work up the lather.
Oh,
By
right.
the time I got back, it was kind of cool, and it made a difference. But we made it work. And that's what counts. Made it work.
I love it. Make it work. So just
And that's with anything. You make it work.
Yeah, it's true. Or you fake it till you make it.
yeah.
Yes.
Tim Gunn
Not your case.
and Fernie says, make it work.
Make it work.
And I came to barber school here in Denver in 1963, May of 1963, and I finished my schooling in October, and then they postponed the state board for the President Kennedy assassination.
Stop it.
So I went home for 3
I
weeks.
didn't know this.
I went home for 3 weeks and came back. Went back to school just to refreshen up, and took the state board, and I made it with 98.
They postponed boards because of Kennedy's assassination.
On that, that's when he was getting the funeral.
Oh, wow.
So, and the state board was always on a Monday.
Oh,
So, but anyway,
wow.
I barbered here for a year and a half. I couldn't take Denver. Dorothy didn't like Denver, and I worked for Buzz Ward out there on 5200 North Federal. I worked with him for about 3 or 4 weeks, and he didn't have all that much business. So I was
Buzz
sitting on
Ward.
that.
You gotta go.
Gotta
with
hustle,
business.
Buzz.
So then I worked for Bill Pennell next to the Colorado General on 8th Avenue? I think it was 8th. And same thing. He just needed a little bit of help, but not enough business. So then I ended up going to Morrison Road and Sheridan, Hart's Corner Barber Shop. And I worked there for about a year, and then we ended up going home.
To
And from-
Cortez area, right?
Yes, and from Saguache that way, I started looking for a job.
Well, it's also the best thing to listen to him like talk about Denver from like back when he was in Denver, because like he lived like 3 blocks away from Glamour Bar, and it was like a legit house, and he rented a room. And now when we drive by it, it's a skyrise.
Yeah.
Like where his like barber school was in the '60s, it's a parking garage. And
Yes.
so Denver has changed so much since he, like, it's like really interesting to hear him talk about like just his Denver life, and I'm like, oh.
Well, barber school was on 17th Street between Larimer and Arapahoe.
Oh.
That State Barber College.
That's a
And
that's a
Colorado
big
Barber
happening
College.
block now.
The Colorado Barber College was on Larimer, just around the block.
Colorado Barber College.
Uh-huh.
That's where you went.
No, I went to State
Oh.
under Jack Kincaid. And,
I love that you like know everybody's name. It's like the sweetest thing.
and,
I'm like, I couldn't even remember the
You're like, oh.
cosmetology school I went to in Missouri. I was
and
like,
they
I
had
don't
the
know what's happening.
opportunity, but that was the only 3 barber colleges in Colorado at that time, and now there's very few.
I was gonna say, so barbering kind of, I remember barbering being so big, like all the men went to barber shops
Right.
back where I was from. And then I feel like there was like a lull, there was no barbering. And everybody just went to like a salon, or there were very few barbering. But I feel like it's hot again. It's like
super
back
hot right now.
Well, I'll tell you a story about Cortez. When I went to Cortez, there was 13 barbers.
Wow.
13. And a barber in Mancos, which is only 16 miles away. A barber in Dolores, which is only 12 miles away. A barber in Dove Creek, which is 35 miles away. Barber in Monticello, which is 60 some miles away. No barbers out of Cortez anymore.
except
And-
for you.
And in Cortez,
There's you, right?
in Cortez now there's 4 barbers, so-called barbers. There's 4.
So
Hopefully they're not watching Beauty
there's-
of Bubbles.
So cool.
sorry about it, kids.
Sorry.
There's a
Sit
lady
with us.
barber,
A lady barber.
and she don't do flat tops.
Well, how can you be a barber and not do flat tops?
She sends them all
That's what
to
Grandpa
me.
wants to give me, a flat top.
And,
It'll look
I'm
great
not
on you.
having it.
and then we got a stylist and a barber combination there in Cortez. And then the 2 guys that are where I worked, I ran the shop for about 6 years by myself. I finally got this kid to come help me, and I worked with him for about 1.5 years, and I got out. And it's been a good thing.
Yeah.
But they're doing good. But still, there again, they, like I say, they when they shave, they instead of
Is that
One
one
stroke.
stroke?
one stroke.
I also
And-
feel like barbering's coming back though too, because it's like men are now starting to like actually take care of themselves versus like back in the day where it was just go shave your head
Yeah,
bald,
or just
throw your
cut
baseball
it.
cap on, we gotta go to work, and now that there's like a complete change where like men's grooming is like sexy now.
Yeah,
like,
and, like-
women want men's grooming.
Well, and like
You-
beards are like a thing, and doing
And
the
they don't
beard
want like
trimming.
a like crazy like caveman Duck Dynasty beard. They want like a trimmed, groomed beard, and so therefore
Right.
it's coming back into the industry, and people are willing to pay good money
Yeah.
to get what was
To get that luxury.
a normal thing. It's now a luxury to
Yeah.
do.
Exactly.
Why do you
Yeah.
think that barbering kind of went through an ebb and flow? You think it was men that just
You
didn't
know,
like?
I really don't know. I don't know if it was because of the falling out of the barbers, it was packed in the barbershop all the time, so they started going to the salons.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was, but I'm not. That'd be my theory.
I
Ashley
think
has a theory.
that the barber industry, because it was like older barbers, right? And so older barbers are retiring, and now it's a thing again. So, or because everybody was retiring, and so now it's trending, and so it's a younger demographic.
Well, they're taking both entities,
yeah,
the barber and the salon.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I just feel like it's trending again
Yeah.
because
Well,
older
and I also
barbers
feel
are
like
retired.
guys are trying to find a place
So there's a
again to
demand.
like where like the barbershop back in the day was like no women allowed, no this. I'm just gonna
Exactly.
go talk sports, Sports Illustrated, all of that, and it's like they're trying to find that like.
Okay, Joe.
Sports Illustrated.
I'm like, but it's like true. Like,
But you're right, though.
like guys want to go talk guy things,
Guy
and they don't
things.
want to be in here. Well, you're talking Vogue and Fashion Week last week, and then there's this guy talking like,
Or do they?
I mean, Kate Spade killed herself today.
It was a hot
you-
topic.
Yeah.
Or a month.
You hit the nail on the head. You did.
Yeah.
I
They
think
want to
so.
have a special place, but I think also too, one thing that I think people get confused on with straight razor shaves, just for example, they think it's going to be a totally clean shave, but I saw people today that still came out with beards and they were just trimmed up and groomed and looking
Nice.
spiffy. Yeah. Like way more dapper, way more like that clean cut, and it's hard. Like I just was at like a Bumble event, and one of the girls said, "Oh, I just found this attractive man, and he was so good until I got to his neck, and then his beard hair had overgrown his neck." And I was like, "I'm out. See you later." So I think that it's like important to know you don't have to be completely clean shaven
Right.
to do that type of
And
thing.
it's just one stroke.
One
But-
stroke only.
Yes, but to there again, whoever it is, they can clean that up on their own.
Well, they
You
should.
Do you have
They
some
don't have to
advice?
be like a gorilla.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
have advice for at-home
That
care?
takes too much time.
Do you have any tips and tricks for at-home care? I hear a lot about ingrown hairs and a lot about, oh, I get really roughed up and it like hurts, and so I hate razors, I hate shaving, I hate
Right.
grooming.
And there's a lot of people that do.
Mhm.
They got these little, I call them heat lumps, where it's so hot, they get these little, they're not big, but they nick them.
Mhm.
You nick them
Mhm.
every now and then. And you gotta use a septic to clean it up.
Yeah.
So, but it's all good.
Any advice that you have for men at home with their beards, with their neck, with their personal grooming? Any tips or tricks that you have for them?
It just takes a little bit of, what do I want to say? I don't want to cut them down.
You can have a minute to think about your
No.
wording.
Just a little initiative to clean it up
Mm-hmm.
and keep it groomed up. You don't have to let it grow out.
Yeah, some TLC.
Do you think that there's a certain razor on the market that's better? Should they be using clippers or like a...
Well, back in my time, back in the day, the German razor was the best razor.
We love a good German
made
razor.
razor was the best razor, and the last one I bought was like $250, and now they're about.
Sorry, Grandma. and
Gonna get
did you-
triggered again.
Did
She's
you
like,
bring
"What?"
that to? Did you bring that to Denver?
I intended to, but I picked up the wrong one.
Stop
I'm
causing
just
a fight.
teasing.
And my guess now would be about probably 500.
Oh, wow.
50.
For a straight razor, do you think men can straight razor at home on their own?
Yes.
No.
They're probably.
I called my
Justin.
grandpa. I like FaceTimed him. Like, what was that? When was the last time you were in Pagosa? And I like called him, and I'm like, I'm bleeding, and I was like trying to go out for dinner. I have like this giant gash in my face. I'm like bleeding, like,
Justin.
and he's like, "What were you doing?" I was like, "Trying the straight razor." Leave it
Did
to
you
them.
do one stroke?
One
He was
stroke,
like
and
this,
cut himself.
wasn't he? he was picking it like you're not supposed to.
No, he tried one stroke because I could see it.
Well, how deep was it?
It was deep.
much
You can probably
pressure
still
did
see
you
the
use?
scar.
God, you were not a straight razor type of self user.
But all the barbers have pretty near gone. I would say 90% of the barbers have gone to the detachable. The like I used today
Mm-hmm.
because of the price of the German razor.
And is it the blade that we're talking about?
Yes,
Okay.
it's In fact, you can get it for me. Yeah.
Be back.
Aunt Phyllis is gonna get it. I don't know if Justin can be trusted.
Obviously, he can't. He almost died.
I think a good old-fashioned Bic
Is
good for
there like
Justin.
a certain
I brought 'em
razor
both.
that you can buy at Target or Walmart?
No.
No good.
No. This blade comes out.
Is that what Justin tried to shave with?
I did.
Oh, shoot.
Lord have mercy.
And these
Don't
are-
try this at home.
Or if you are going to try it at home, so one stroke is important.
Call an
Do you
adult
go-
and have no wine.
Don't have alcohol, right?
Right.
When you're going to straight razor. Don't have a bender the night before where you got the shakes.
You gotta have a light hand.
She's pointing
A
at
light
me, and I'm
hand.
like, I was sober when I tried this.
I don't.
A light
And-
hand.
and a light hand. You don't press on the razor. You just let it do its job.
Because it's sharp enough that you shouldn't have to add
look
much.
at
Nope.
Ashley can't touch
No,
it.
no,
She'll
no, no.
die.
I don't trust myself.
She is the shakes.
It's not the
Another way-
shades.
Try
It's a
razor.
condition my family has.
Is do this.
Called triggers.
If it drags, it's sharp. If it just runs smooth, it's not sharp.
How many shaves can you go through with that razor? Or do
Depends on the beard.
you, okay.
Depends on the beard.
So you don't have to change out the razor every person?
No.
The blade?
No.
Barber side.
And
Here's the
this
other
one,
one.
this is the one around, and I didn't want to bring this one, but it's
He had a really
Also-
cool
It's
not as good
German
one.
when you buy a razor, you don't want to buy a razor that's got a round tip here. Feel that. Feel that.
I'm not going to.
Ashley,
Just-
Grandpa, I'm
just
not
like-
going to.
Just lightly.
It's sharp. Don't do it, Ashley.
I'm too scared. I need
She's like, I can't lose you.
I have an
Don't
845.
touch it. You have an 845 flash.
I'm like, I'm not going to. I'm not going to.
And she's like, but I want to. I want to.
Okay, no, don't.
And this is a case razor. It's not a German made, but it's pretty good because it's a wedge razor. It's heavy up here. It helps you slide your stroke. A light razor, a concave razor, will be lighter up here on top, and it don't have that push to bring out the
That you
whisker.
feel like you gotta.
Right.
So
Get
what
in
one
there.
would you recommend for Justin to use since he has problems?
I would start with a concave and then go to the wedge.
Okay, or a Bic.
Or not even, because they're expensive, go to these.
Go to these.
Yes.
All right.
So concave is kind of like starter package.
Yes.
Okay. So you look for a concave, and then you can graduate to a wedge,
Right.
and then you can see a professional
Mm-hmm.
for anything else.
And
I'll probably stick to the
These are
professionals.
these are good. These are only like, well, the last one I bought was like $30, and I buy a box of these blades for about another $30.
Razor down.
So
Workman's comp.
I bet 95% of the barbers have gone to these because of the price of
Pricing.
these. And the German-made razors are good, but they're awful expensive. German steel.
Listen here, Germans. Bring your
We need
prices
your
down.
Steel. For a steal.
Bring your prices down, okay?
Oh, you see what she did there? Steal and
And
steal.
when you open a razor, all you gotta do is,
Whoa.
It's like
and
a.
it's ready. You do a free stroke, what they call a free stroke, or a backhand. A backhand is mostly on the right-hand side.
What are your tricks for men doing this at home, or to avoid, like, getting the razor burn or bumps or irritation,
Just,
Or Justin's situation.
or just
Stay away and
slashing
seek a
his
professional.
face open?
my advice would be, try it but don't get heavy. Heavy on the hand, like.
Also, keep your skin tight, because that was
Yes.
my problem. Is my skin was not tight,
See,
and I just sliced right into it.
see, when I do this, I pull the skin up. There's probably little whiskers there.
It's like a dermaplane.
Yeah.
Ida, can you do this?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And that's, you just gotta learn your feel.
Yeah.
You gotta learn your feel.
Which one do you shave it personally?
I'll use either one.
Just whatever's around.
Mm-hmm.
With men, is there a certain, like with waxing, there's a certain, like, we say it like a
Length.
rice
A piece of
size, length of hair.
yeah.
Is there a certain length that is better for a straight razor shave than others?
No.
You can use this daily, every
Daily.
other day. Do you-
Daily.
And what do you shave with? What do you recommend as product?
I use at home, because I'm a tightwad.
I'm sure lots of people out there are tightwads, so.
My latherizers don't work all the time, so I use regular face soap. But I lather it up good, and I put a hot towel on, like I do.
Does the hot towel just open up the pores to make the hair come out a little
Just,
smoother?
It softens the hair,
Softens the follicles.
softens the hair, the follicles, and when you get your lather on there and you put another hot towel, it just helps it that much more, and then you can finish out your shave.
One stroke.
So would
One
you just
stroke.
use any generic face soap, or
Zest is what he prefers.
I'm using Irish
Spring.
Irish
I
Spring.
also like that one. I like the smell. It's nice. It's fresh.
let's
So-
try it with the dry bar from PCA. Ooh,
Game changer.
Game changer.
You'd have to use a lot, cause it lathers. Do you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I usually like stick it in the shower, I lather it, and then I scrub my face. I don't know if you're
Good.
using it right.
waste product, but
And if you let your beard grow 2 or 3, 4 days, you can put a little bit of like an oil base, just a little bit in your lather, because they'll keep it
oh, that sounds nice.
moist a little longer for you to finish out your shave,
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to take a little longer.
What do you, I think beards are kind of a hot trend right now. And
Mhm.
people all have like the scruff or they have like a little bit more hair. Do you have any advice for kind of trimming that up, making it look clean, not so
Bushy,
homeless
not so
man?
bushy.
Yes.
Yeah, Justin needs a little
Yeah,
shave.
Justin could use one.
Quinlan needs to help me again. Quinlan has like turned my life around.
Yeah, she has.
Call Quinlan, guys. We all know the number.
But
Yeah.
you know, it's all on what a guy wants.
Do you think like some clippers at home, do you have some like easy ways to kind of trim up your beard in a fast way?
I use the fast feed clipper, Oster. You can turn it back to like a number 1, which is 1/8 of an inch, or you can use clipper over comb if you want it longer. But what I like to see is about that size of beard,
Mm-hmm.
instead of letting it grow bushy.
It gets a little crazy
It
real fast.
can have a curl to it, which is another
Yes,
game changer.
and it gets all tangled up in there.
Well, you were part of the 70s. Facial hair was a hot thing in the 70s, and I think that it took a break and now it's back, right? Or was it always a thing?
It was just it started coming on about that time.
Mm-hmm.
About that time it started coming on. Many people didn't have beards. They were clean cut.
Mm-hmm.
And when the Beatles and all this stuff started coming out, well, they started letting their beards grow. Back in the day, back in the olden days, back in the early days, they had big beards, big goatees. But
Life
that kind of
goals.
went away.
Like the presidents.
Yeah.
That's so
Yes.
I would love an Abraham Lincoln beard, but I get too patchy and it's not a thing. So I have to.
Thank you. Like Abraham Lincoln. Who cuts your hair, Grandpa?
Me.
You do? You cut your own hair?
She helps me once in a while.
I believe it.
Dorothy's
Not
been
him.
in the biz for a long time.
I
herself.
know.
56 years,
Yeah.
exact.
No, I've been cutting. When I work at the barbershop, we exchange haircuts. But since I've been retarded, I cut my own.
And you got a lot of people's hair still.
Yeah.
You're not super retired.
Well, and he's like kind of like the little popular barber in our town, like where we grew up. Even like growing up, everyone would be like, "Oh, your hair looks so good," and like I grew up great, getting like straight razor shaves all around the ears and everything. And now, when I moved to Denver, I'd go to like Great Clips, and I was like, "What is this shit?" Like,
What's happening?
Justin, why would you go to Great Clips?
Yeah.
for a
I was
barber?
broke. I went from a barber to like a salon.
Well, I
And
have a question for Grandpa. What is your favorite trend you've ever seen or cut? Because you've seen probably every trend that's been like across 5, 10 generations.
I like
How
the
many
old
generations?
60 cut, like when Elvis, Johnny Cash, all them.
That nice look, longer
A nice
top.
pompadour.
I love the
where you can
pompadour.
comb it back a little bit, trim it up, keep it
Elvis
clean.
had great hair.
A little taper in the back. Leave a little bit where you can.
You can get a little crazy if you want to.
Like one little worm bang.
You can let loose if you need to,
He's all
but be all business.
And back in the day, I used
party
to
in the
cut a
front,
lot of
business
flat
in the
tops
back.
with a little pico right here,
Pickle?
with a comb.
No,
a
he
flat
said
top with
pico.
Oh, pinko.
It's a Mexican term, I think.
It's a little hair down here.
It's like a widow's peak.
Yes.
It's a flat top with you've got wings back here and they comb them back.
Oh, I like that look.
And that
That's
was
nice
called
of
a
you.
Princeton.
A
Of
Princeton.
Princeton.
That's what you have going on right now?
No, I don't
Oh.
have a flat top.
Oh, but you have this going on. Cool.
It's more of an Elvis, a less
It's like
volume.
an Elvis, he went crazy.
Less
He was
volume.
dancing. He was
But
shaking
anyway.
it out real good.
I've learned a lot through my years, and I picked up a lot from other barbers, watching other people. I've learned cutting women's hair a little bit by watching from this guy.
Yes, he's passing the torch
I
to
learned-
Justin
I
here.
learned
I
just
didn't
from
even
him,
want to be in the industry, and I
'cause
was
he'd go
kind of like,
home and
Yes.
cut the girls' hair,
Yeah.
and I would watch him. I learned something. I learned.
What do
it
you
was
think
real
is
weird the first time. Like I started cutting hair, he was like, "What are you doing there?" And I thought he was judging me.
Yeah.
And at first he was like, then it took me a minute to be like, my mom had to pull me aside and was like, "He's trying to learn," and I was like, "Oh." I would thought he was judging me.
Hi, Mother Teresa.
Oh, we miss you.
What do you think is the best advice that you have for somebody getting into the industry that wants to have like a long-term career? Do you have any like nuggets of information? Because I learned so many nuggets. Do you know Fernie's never had to fire somebody? In all
What?
of his years of owning a barbershop and running one, he's never fired one person.
Because they just quit or what?
No,
When Fernie gets rough, he's real rough.
We're like, "We're out, we're out."
I'd get a little
You're like,
nasty.
bye-bye.
I'd get a little nasty, but not enough to make them
Savage.
And if they quit, they'd quit on their own.
I thought that was like a huge nugget of like info. But what is like your best advice for somebody that is like, I want to be like Fernie, I want to get out there, I want to join
Well, you
the
gotta-
barbering?
You gotta have a open mind, open heart, and
You're listening,
strive
Wilson?
to do your best. Not all. There's going to be some downfalls. I had downfalls. I never was perfect, and I never will be. But you learn by your mistakes. You
True.
learn by your mistakes, and you just gotta push forward. Keep pushing forward.
Write that down, Wilson.
That's it.
Pencil.
Did we pencil
Do we
that
have
in?
any questions?
Run out of time.
Any questions that have come through or?
Yes.
Oh, shoot, we have-
Oh, shoot! We got questions. Sorry,
Yeah,
Fernie.
we have about one more minute.
Fernie, your dinner's gonna be late tonight. Sorry.
That's all right.
You like to eat around 5 or 6:30.
That's all right.
So,
You're on
Betty
vacation.
Anderson says that you are the most awesome barber.
Who?
Faye Anderson.
Who's A?
Who's
Anderson?
Faye Anderson?
Just say thank you, Grandpa.
Thank you.
It's Faye Gallegos.
Oh, Faye Gallegos. Update your
That's
name.
so nice.
Just say thank you.
Thank you.
I am.
I'm like,
I am
update it.
you're the goat of
You're
barbering.
the real goat of barbering.
And Trisha says that you should start doing microblading.
Ooh. Let's send him to school.
There's
Yes.
literally no difference.
Dermaplaning or microblading. Microblading's the tattooing.
Yeah. So she say dermaplaning? It should have been.
She said microblading.
Oh,
It's perfect.
So
We got Ida. She's the goat of microblading. But Grandpa, we'll take you into.
dermaplaning.
He'll be Ida's assistant.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can learn under Ida.
Trisha also wants to know what your secret is for looking so handsome.
Oh my God.
Oh,
He's a
yeah.
married man.
Tell her to put on some glasses.
Stop drinking.
Put the wine down.
What is your secret?
Just keep driving forward and try to stay healthy and
Drink
What-
lots of
what-
wine.
What? I drink Crown Royal.
Ooh.
How
Literally,
do you
there's
drink
a
it?
bottle of Crown in my fridge
On the
now, and I'm like,
rocks. Do you
On
mix
the
it?
rocks.
On the rocks.
On the rocks.
You
you
just
ever-
need some whiskey.
every once in a while he'll do a dab of water.
Ooh.
That's when
just
you
to
know.
Spice it up.
That's when you know he's getting a little tipsy because he's like wanting a dab of water, and you're like, all right,
You're like,
I support.
No,
and you drink it on the rocks.
You just gotta be active and try to stay healthy. That's it. And eat healthy and don't miss breakfast.
Oh. Breakfast
have to
is
have
for me.
What if we
Breakfast.
skipped breakfast and go to brunch?
Nope.
Biscuits and gravy.
Jackie Rife said she's blue with a thought. The Jackie Rife.
That Jackie Rife.
Who's that?
My ex-boss, he's passed now. That's his daughter.
Yes.
Oh, I was like, how was he Facebooking?
happening.
I'm not comfortable.
We're like, we're hearing you.
Oh, I love it.
That's
I
so
love that you
sweet.
remember everybody. Did you
You do.
have like a big influencer in your life that kind of made you want to trudge forward or gave you great advice or
I think
inspired
Jackie
you?
Wright, it sounds like.
Jackie?
Jackie Wright?
Jackie Rife.
Right.
Rife.
Rife. R-I-F-F-E. Or something like that.
That's fine.
Disclaimer if we spelled it wrong, Jackie.
The only thing that I can do is the thing that's kept me where I'm at, and I think it's being honest, being faithful, and pushing forward.
Fair enough.
I
Can't say
think
it
that's
more.
amazing advice.
Being honest, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
being faithful.
Fair. There's no more words.
Nothing else to say. Grandpa dropped the mic.
Mic drop.
Can I have one of those?
Sorry.
Does anybody else have any questions or concerns or comments? Or
Perfect.
do you want to end on an inspirational note?
That's
Just keep moving forward
just
in
keep
one
moving
stroke.
forward. Keep moving forward.
With one
Always
stroke.
try to do better.
I love it.
Always try to do better.
Ugh, Grandpa, you're welcome anytime.
Fernie, thank you so much for sharing your anniversary week with us. and Dorothy for sharing her anniversary week with us.
Should we like? She's
And Aunt Phyllis.
gone.
And Aunt Phyllis for facilitating all of this for us, and Justin for sharing your family with us. So
My family is always your family. You will learn this
Your
like
family
very quickly.
literally is. We are close to each and one of your family members.
You will
that
learn
we've
this
met.
very quickly that like anytime I bring someone into my family, it's because I
It's
like
true.
you people, and
I
they're
know.
gonna adopt you and be like, they're one of our own. Like,
Aunt Phyllis is literally my best friend.
no,
I'll
saved
call
my life.
like my family call me and they'll be like, how's Lyndsay? How's Ashley? And I'm like, I'm doing well, thank you. Like, just in case you're concerned. They love you people.
And if you're ever down in that neck of the woods,
In Cortez?
in Cortez.
Cortez.
stop in.
I know
You know
there's an
she used to
airport.
live in Telluride.
I lived in Telluride, and I flew into Cortez one time because the pilots couldn't see the airport in Telluride. So we had to land in Cortez and take a shuttle. So that was fun. That was a good time.
Well,
So if
you're
you're in
welcome at our
Cortez-
house anytime.
If you're in Cortez,
And
Go
I'll
to
give,
Cortez.
all these people,
I'll give you a haircut, a
they
flat top,
don't-
or mohawk.
flat
or-
top.
No haircuts for me.
Flat top for
Oh, no,
Ashley.
I'm good.
But anyway,
these
if
guys
you're
know
ever
no
down there,
strangers.
Don't be a stranger.
We will.
You can give the audience your address. So
It's okay, don't do it.
Then
It's
I'll
Facebook.
have the whole state there.
Yeah, we have a large audience.
Yes.
We'll be like, oh, sorry.
Sorry, Grandpa.
You all have to cook for 1,500 people.
Yeah, that's our audience.
Sorry.
Well, thank you again for coming and spending the day with us. It was so memorable for all of us here.
And you have such good energy. It's been such a fun day.
It has been such a fun day.
Well, I got
Thank
all
you.
the text messages. Oh my god, it's such a
I
good
know.
day.
You
And
missed
I was
out,
like,
Grandpa.
I was having some major FOMO. I was like, I should be
You
Do
there.
you
missed
hear
out.
Grandpa introduce himself to clients?
Hi, I'm Fernie Lopez.
I've died every time. I'm like,
and he's like, hi, I'm Fernie. He's so old school. It's so good.
it's
It's
cute.
so good, and I think that my advice for people getting into the industry would be a
Bring
little bit
that-
more like Fernie and like make it be so personable
And
and
you're
like make it
so
so
excited to
special.
meet
You gotta
everybody.
You're
You
so
gotta-
passionate about it, and you can
You
feel
gotta be
it.
comfortable with your customer. Make your customer feel comfortable with you.
Yep.
Especially
And
when you're
you're
going to take a razor to their neck.
Well, especially because it's like anyone makes their first
Your boyfriend told me
decision.
not to get you in there
I know.
several times.
And
Like, we're right here.
literally every
Where's
time
the
Fernie left the
jugular?
room, I was like in there. He was like, "Get out! Get out of here."
Oh shoot, I slipped and hit the
I was like,
jugular.
just
Sorry about
Fernie's teaching me how to razor cut.
Where's the main artery?
She's like,
Where's that main artery?
sorry about it, Tom.
Yes.
You have a future ahead
But-
of you.
Well, thank you again for being a part of Glamour Bar
Thank you.
and
I thank you.
coming on tonight and being a part. And Justin, thank you for sharing your family with us.
Always.
And I
And
thank
you know what?
for
Let's bring
what
him
you have
on
done
and
for us.
Of course. We hope you enjoy your 54th wedding
54th.
anniversary. Wedding anniversary.
At the
will.
art
That's so
hotel.
special.
At the art hotel.
And thank you, Art Hotel, for hooking us up and hooking Fernie and Dorothy up for their anniversary weekend.
Yep.
And you got upgraded because it's your anniversary.
Yes. Yeah.
upgrade.
So thank you everyone for joining us again for Beauty and Bubbles, and we look forward to seeing you again next
Here we
Tuesday.
are.
Here we
Yes.
We'll see you next Tuesday, guys.
Alrighty.
Okay, that was amazing, guys.
We didn't talk about who's on next Tuesday. Do we
I
know?
can't remember.